Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will share some tactical analysis with you over on the Bitcoin chart as Bitcoin is currently crashing. But for those of you who watched my previous tactical analysis video on Bitcoin's chart, this move would not necessarily be a surprise, as I had highlighted the possibility of this pump up as being nothing more than a bull trap, and it now appears that that trap has indeed snapped shut. So with that being said, let's get to the charts. And we will start over here on the 4-hour candles for Bitcoin USDT on the Binance exchange. And as I mentioned in the previous video, back in this area here, we were looking at a possible bull trap. After this bullish reversal back here, Bitcoin did break through a key level of resistance, which is a perfect setup for a bull trap, and then Bitcoin eventually found resistance right up in this area. That was the 618 level for the Fibonacci retracement on this move, and it hit that resistance, and it has since sold off, and pretty much confirming that this was indeed a bull trap. Now in reality, you typically look for a bull trap to go substantially lower than the point of the bull reversal. It did go lower, but actually I would have looked for it to get back down to that 17.6 or 17.5 level that I had mentioned in the previous video for confirmation of this being a bull trap. However, given the current conditions, that's still a very realistic level for Bitcoin to sell off to, and we'll get into those details here in a moment. But before we do, I want to drop in the EMA ribbons here and take a look at some possible future resistance for Bitcoin on the way back up, as it has once again broken down below the EMA ribbons. You can see back here on that bull trap move, when it broke out above the ribbons, it had a nice push up, and what the bulls really needed was a pullback into the ribbons as it got overextended, and then a push back up away from the ribbon. However, that's not what happened. The price crushed down through the ribbons pretty much on this one candle, and then continued to sell off, started to move sideways, only to once again reject at the ribbon and continue its sell-off. Now it looks like currently the bulls are trying to push this price back up, but it does look like once again they're running into resistance at the lower level of this ribbon, and so this might just be a dead cat bounce before Bitcoin continues its sell-off, again perhaps down towards that 17.6 or 17.5 level. Now on the flip side, perhaps this is just a retest of this low back here, and if the price can get back above the ribbon, we might see another push up. However, given the current market conditions, I don't think that's very likely. We have the Fed meeting coming up on Wednesday. Today is Monday, and more than likely they will announce another rate hike. Regardless of the size of the rate hike, more than likely it's going to be a bearish move. Now, you need to keep in mind a lot of times on the actual Fed day, when they make the announcement, you see a bullish move because the market may have already anticipated whatever move the Fed makes. However, the following day, in this case would be Thursday, if the Fed does raise the rate 75 basis points, I would not be surprised to see a continued sell-off come Thursday and Friday. Now, until Bitcoin can break through resistance at about 19.6, even all the way up into this area here, you can see quite a bit of resistance at around the 20,000 level. The bears do remain in control of this current price action. Now, if I drop in my support and resistance levels, you can see right around that 19.6 level and up here around the 20,000 level, there are two pretty strong zones of resistance that, in fact, actually used to be support. If you look back in Checker 6, back in this area, that was a pretty strong level of support. And even if we look forward into this zone here, it did act as support until it finally flushed down below. And so again, that zone between 19.6 and essentially probably 20,500 is going to be a very strong level of resistance. Now, with that all being said, let's take a look at some possible targets for Bitcoin by utilizing our Fibonacci retracement tool. And if I start down here at the low and swing high, we can see a few possible price targets. The first one would be the 786 level, which puts us at around 19.2. In fact, I think between the 786 level to the 618 level, which is coming in at 19,981, call it 20,000, that is going to be a huge level of resistance for Bitcoin to move towards the top side. And in reality, if we come up here to the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, then we're looking at 20,500. That would probably be the final hurdle for Bitcoin to get above if it wants to push up. But at the end of the day, if this bounce right here at around 18,200 is nothing more than a dead cat bounce and Bitcoin rolls over after finding resistance up in this level, it is possible that Bitcoin retests its low of this current bear market, and that would be around 17.6. And if Bitcoin did retest this low, it's not unrealistic for it to go just a little bit lower to say around the 17,000 level, which would put Bitcoin at the 1272 level on this current Fibonacci retracement. Now after the 1272 level, or 17,000, the next level, the 1618 level, and that puts us at about 15,400. And with that being said, keep in mind, we're not looking for the price to just go straight down. I mean, it is Bitcoin, but I think we would be looking at something more like perhaps what we're seeing right now is a push up into resistance, perhaps a dump back down and a retest, and then perhaps something like this playing out over several weeks before we actually get the big dump down to around the 15.5 level. Or on the flip side, Bitcoin may just retest its previous low for this bear market and then take off from there, somewhere around 17.6 down to around 17,000, and then a push back up. As a trader, I'm not looking to predict bottoms or tops. I'm just looking to get involved at levels that expose me to minimum risk while still providing the maximum potential for profit. And so to quickly recap, right now Bitcoin is more than likely going to run into pretty strong resistance between, say, the 19.5 to the 20,500 zone. And so with that in mind, if Bitcoin does reject up in that zone, then we're looking back down at the 18,000 level for support. After that, then we're looking at 17.6 to 17,000. And then from there, we could see a drop down to around 15.5. So, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this video. We basically saw the bull trap snap shut that we were actually watching in the previous video. Now the question is, does Bitcoin bounce or does it continue to crash? So with that being said, if anything changes over here on the Bitcoin charts, I will do an update video. So now would be a good time to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss those updated videos. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have questions, comments, drop them in the comment section down below. And until next time, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.